Hi everyone, it's Ardith, and I'm excited to be here today with my first tutorial video for the Ellen Hutson YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be using some of the new leading ladies from the June release, along with the new pattern play set. I'll be showing you how to do some masking to dress up these ladies and their accessories. These new ladies were released on Sunday, and their clothes are big empty spaces just begging for some fun patterns. Even some of their accessories are big enough to play with. As usual, matching dies are available for the ladies. Pattern Play has lots of fun shapes and patterns that you can use to build backgrounds or to add details like I'm doing today. I started with the Beach Lady, and the simplest technique. I've stamped her a couple of times so we can have some fun with her beach dress. The first thing to do is create a mask. I find that full back post-it notes work well for images this size. This is a negative mask. We want to cover all the areas we're not going to stamp, so I want to cut the beach dress out of the center of the mask. You can poke your scissors through the center of the image and do it that way, but I find that cutting one line up to the image is easier for me, and it works just as well, as long as I make sure it's carefully lined up so that none of the panel is showing through. I wanted to keep the little belt blank so I can color it with an accent color, so I just cut a thin strip of post-it note and placed it over top. Next, I used the flower background from the new Pattern Play set and I stamped it into the center of the post-it, right into that negative space. I made sure to press down all around the edges of the mask for crispness. Here's a close-up of her dress and hat where I used the same technique. Created a mask, stamped the crosshatch pattern in shea butter ink to give it a straw-like texture. I shaded it with a pale yellow Copic marker for some dimension. These inks work really well with the added Copic shading, and I did some more of this later in the video. Next, I'll create a plaid pattern with some Catherine Pooler inks. I used the striped stamp and 3 colors of ink. Making sure to cover the belt again, I started with Fiesta Blue, then I turned the stamp and I stamped with Tiki Torch. I moved the stamp slightly and stamped it again with Party Dress. And here's a close-up of her dress with her matching beach towel. Moving on to City Lady. I started with her accessories and some ink blending, a shopping bag and her purse. I decided to give her a trendy shopping bag with a pattern and sentiment, and I followed the same process. So I stamped the leafy stem as well as the word love that comes in the set. Next, I blended some It's a Boy ink from the bottom left, fading out toward the top right. I colored in the leaves with a green Copic, and I added the shadow to the inside of the bag with a gray Copic. I decided to have some fun and make her purse really fancy, a rich brown leather with gold embossing. I started by laying down the mask and then prepping the area with my anti-static bag. Then I stamped the little floral stamp in the corner with Versamark ink. I removed the mask and added gold embossing powder, and I heated it with my heat gun until the powder was melted and shining. To create the leather color, I blended icing on the cake onto the purse. I felt the color needed a bit of warming up, so I added some mandarin spice. Next, I moved on to City Lady's top. It already has a pattern on it, but it's easy enough to mask that out and create a blank canvas, so to speak. I created a positive mask this time, and I placed it over the stamp itself before I inked it up. Because the pattern is so close to the edge of her top, some of the lines didn't stamp, but I just used a Copic multi-liner to fill them in. Now I can create my own pattern with a single stamp and some limoncello ink. When you do this, just be sure to stamp some off the edge to get the feeling that the pattern continues to the parts of her that we can't see. I added a few leaves in Lime Ricky. To add some more detail, I created flower centers with a brown Copic, and I colored in the leaves with a slightly lighter green Copic. Here's a close-up of her purse and shopping bag. To complete the cards, I finished coloring the ladies and their accessories with Copics. I created different backgrounds ranging from a simple ink blending to a more detailed beach scene, and finally, I used one of the background stamps from Pattern Play stamped with multiple inks that match my Copic coloring. I added sentiments from various Essentials by Ellen sets. And here they are all together. I hope you've enjoyed this video and you're inspired to try this technique yourself. If you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up below and subscribe to the channel for even more inspiration. Thanks so much for watching.